Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we're reviewing Toronto Maple Leafs 4, Buffalo Sabres 0, NHL 2024-25, Game 81. Why'd I do Game 81? Because the Leafs have won the Atlantic Division. They had to pick up a point. They had to go to overtime to win the division on their own, but they won 4-0. 2 points, regulation win. They have won the Atlantic for the first time as the current Atlantic Division since 2013. Their first full season division win since 2000, and their first division win with this core that was a full season division win. Of course, they did win the Canadian division in 2021, but that was 56 games. COVID division, that was only a one-year thing. You hope it is, because if it's not, if it comes back, another pandemic happened or civil war happened. So you don't want that to happen. With that being said, you want that to be a one-time thing, even though it didn't end well. But if you want to count the Canadian division, good. They've won 2 divisions. But this is their first full season division win with this core in the Atlantic, current Atlantic history, and since 2000. They did it. The Leafs won the Atlantic. And nobody thought that was going to happen before the season started. I guarantee you, nobody, not even me, said the Leafs were going to win the Atlantic. Everybody was like, can they make the playoffs? How many goals will Austin score? Do we have the offense to score the goals that we need to make the playoffs? Is Berube going to take us there? Do we have the team? There were some holes that we had to address. And in the end, they won the division. But we'll talk about the game before we talk about how things have changed since October. September, October. We'll talk about that later. First period, no goals, 0-0 at the end of one. And Buffalo, I have to give them credit throughout the whole game. Not just the first period, but throughout the whole game. They were on the Leafs' ass like wad on rice. Like, pardon my French, but they were on the Leafs' rear end like wad on rice. Like, they were in every position the Leafs were in the offensive zone to make sure the Leafs didn't get chances on net. They still got shots, but were they pretty? No. Did they find a way to keep them from getting to the net? Yes. Were the Sabres playing their Stanley Cup? Yes, because against the Leafs, those are the games they care about the most. Now, they did get pumped twice in December. But when they play in Buffalo against the Sabres, they care even more than just playing in Toronto. But they've beaten Buffalo all 3 times this year. 3-0-0 for the Leafs. They did allow 3 goals in the first 2 games, but there was a shutout here by Stolarz, which you're happy about it. Man, he deserved it, though. He really did. The Leafs' defense was solid for most of the night. Mermis can't say much, which is a good thing, because if I had to say much, he probably played horribly. Mermis, solid. Riley, somehow, he's starting to wake up a bit. For some reason, he doesn't like to play around March to mid-April, but then when the playoffs start coming around, he stops being Mr. Minus. That's a good thing. Keep it going, Morgan. He's figured it out. He's waking up. Tanev, good. Benoit, he's been good. Myers was good. The whole defensive core was good. I thought they were solid. Offensively, yes, there were some passes that I thought weren't great, but I don't know if I could blame that on the offense being just throwing passes for no reason or Buffalo being all over them. Now, I do think there's a portion of they wanted Marner to get that 100th point and Matthews to get his 400th goal of his career. I think that's part of it. But good for them, they did. But I don't know if I should blame the offense. I think this is more of the Sabres were trying to make sure this didn't get horrible, which it did. But for a while, it was a tight game, and the Sabres had their moments. Tuck had a couple of power play moments. Peterka sure did as well. I don't know why he didn't show up off the second power play. But so far. First half was tight. Sabres had their moments. Leafs had their moments. We're being outshot by the Sabres, but then again, they've been outshot most of the games this year. So do with that what you will. Second period. Goal was scored 14 minutes, 15 seconds into the period. Scott Lawton with the assist. Yarncrook plays it on to Lorentz. Lorentz plays it to Lawton. Lorentz finds his way at the point. Lawton plays it to Lorentz, and a laser from Lorentz beats Luukkonen to the near post, past his arm, laser in. Lorentz gets the goal, 1-0, and the Leafs have their winning goal, their division winning goal, and Steven Lorentz only scores game winners because the Leafs didn't allow one. They scored 3 more, but that was the game winner. Lorentz with another game winner. Didn't expect him to be the division winner, but of course, he only scores winning goals. Of course it was him, right? 1-0. End of 2, it was 1-0. Third period. Mitch Marner gets the goal. Nice, plays it to Matthews. Matthews with a nice saucer pass to Marner. Marner with a poke shot one-timer to put it past Luukkonen on the far post before he even notices what the hell's going on. Marner gets his 100th point with the goal, and he scores a goal to make it 2-0. 15:39 into the third period, and this game is about, well, I think it is over. Let's be real. And the Leafs are starting to lock down the Atlantic Division. No worries. Then the empty net for the Buffalo Sabres. The Leafs clear it out. Matthews steals the puck back after a bad offensive clearance to try to get the empty net. Matthews steals the puck, lasers it home. 400 goals in his career. 18:08 into the third period. Matthews gets his 400th goal of his career, empty net. Say Ovi wouldn't do that? I don't give a shit. It wasn't 800 something. 897. It was 400. You got to get there. Like, yeah, getting the record breaker on empty net is bad. Getting one to get there, 400, that's not bad. There's a difference. 3-0. Austin scores goals. Now, would he score 897 with an empty net? No. Or 896? No. But 400, that's fine. Then 1843 into the third period, Robertson. Holmberg gets it on to Robertson. Robertson dangles Luukkonen and makes him fall over onto his face. Top bins over the shoulder. 4-0. What a goal by Robertson. What a slow dangle. Stick handling to make sure he falls on his face. Boom. What a shot. 4-0 final. The Leafs win the Atlantic Division. And yes, they finally broke down the Buffalo Sabres at the final minutes. For a while, it was a little bit close, and for a while, they got in there, but the Leafs broke them down. Their talent broke them down. The Leafs get the win. And that's the Leafs that I hope to see. They both got their records. Marner with his 100 points. Matthews with his 400th career goal. They both got there before Thursday because I certainly think now Thursday doesn't matter. They have the division. They have their records. We're ready for Ottawa. It will be Ottawa on Sunday, I bet, is when it starts. I'm not going live for that game. I'm watching WrestleMania. I'll see you Tuesday for Game 2, though. But with that being said, the Leafs have won the division. They found a way to make sure they made a statement with it, not just get a 1-0 win, which it looks similar to the Habs game for most of the game tonight. Like, this game looks similar to the Habs game where it was like, I don't know, it might be a late goal that decides this thing. But in the end, 4-0, that sounds about more right because the Leafs had their moments. The Leafs had the Sabres on the ropes. It wasn't like the Sabres were the better team. It wasn't like the Sabres were even close. They mucked up offensive plays. They had some moments offensively, especially that first period. But Stolarz shut them down. The Leafs defense shut them down. the Sabres were never really in it. Yeah, they outshot the Leafs, but everybody's outshot the Leafs this year for most of the game. Everybody's outshot the Leafs this year. Like, that's not special. The Leafs block shots, they save shots, they find a way. The Sabres were never really in this game. I don't think so. It wasn't as bad as you'd think. Could it have been more than 4 for the Leafs? Yeah. I think the Sabres tried to keep it as low as they could for as long as they could. But in the end, that's life. The Leafs are going to win. This was their game. This was their moment. They didn't blow it, which shows you how different this team is. This was the moment for the Leafs. This was their night to get the job done. Old Leafs teams might not get the job done. This one does. Berube's changed the mentality of these guys. For better. The Leafs normally don't get it done. When it's their night, they wilt. Tonight, they flourished on their night. The lights were the brightest, and they got it done. This shows you exactly that this team is different. This is the year. Point blank period. This is the year. Years before, if they were even close to winning the division, if they were in this situation a year ago, 2, 3 years ago, they would have blew it. They would have blew it to the final day and probably blew it on the final day. This team got it done. This team got it done, and that's what matters. They have won the Atlantic, and let me tell you, nobody saw this coming. Not a soul at the start of the season. Not a soul, not even me. People were like, oh, well, can they score the goals they need? Will they even make the playoffs? Will they even make it top 3 in the division? I don't think people saw the Bruins falling off like they did. That's for sure. But the Leafs, I had more belief in the Leafs than most people. I will say that. But did I think they'd win the division? Hell no. Not even me. Not even me thought the Leafs would win the division. I didn't even think this. This team has really showed truly what a playoff-like hockey style, playing that regular season, does. They play playoff hockey for 82 games. Well, 81, because 82 is Thursday. But they played playoff hockey for most of the season. They didn't just wait till March, April to start playing it. No, they played it the whole way. Craig Berube knows how to make his team better than they should be. I think if it was a different coach, would we be here? No. We would not be where we are right now. No way. Craig Berube is the reason why I believe in the Leafs this year. Yes, these players are better. Mitch Marner has had a season to remember. He legitimately has performed. Not just regular season, but meaningful games. He's played playoff level hockey. He's performed on a tighter game. 100 points, playing a tighter game. This is all I've been asking for from Mitch. He plays the Four Nations. He's one of Canada's top 3 best players. They don't win that trophy if it wasn't for Marner. And I've given him a lot of shit over the years. I've said that guy was a fraud, a punk for years. I will not lie. I've always looked at him and said, this guy's a punk. When it comes down to it, when the chips are down, he's a punk. But he's changed. Even if we get blown out, I won't say blown out, but if we get knocked out the first round, halfway, 2-game wins in the second round, I don't think it'll be his fault. I don't think we can point to him and say he's a punk. No. Mitch Marner has stood up this year in the Four Nations, in the regular season, and said, okay, I'll play this way. I'll play Berube's way. I'll play a tight game. And he still produces. This was a walk year for Marner. And I don't think that may have fueled him a little bit, but I will say this. I got to give him all the credit. I've been giving him credit since the Four Nations, because that's when it really hit me. Because I had to see him really do it with the brightest lights. Because there was a lot of this year where I'm like, you know what, this is a different guy. He's born again hard, but I got to see it during the Four Nations because we knew he was going. I got to see it during the Four Nations. I got to see it when it matters. And then he did it there. He did it there with a red sweater on, a red leaf, saying Canada. He did it there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, he's born again hard. He ain't no punk no more. He ain't no punk no more. And I'm proud. This is what I've been hoping for years from him. We know he could do it, so do it. I don't know if he got therapy. I don't know if he's just good playing a tight style, if he plays it for 82 games. I don't know. What I do know is he's born again hard. And I like it. This is the Marner I've been expecting. If you're going to be the kid, if you're going to be the star, if you're going to be that guy, be that guy. And he's been that guy. That's what I'm talking about. I knew you had it in you. And I'm proud of it. Keep kicking ass, man. See, unlike other people, I knew he had it in him. That's the difference. That's what pissed me off. I knew he could be more than a punk. He is now. That's what I'm talking about. This is the Marner I've been looking for. That's what I'm looking for, and what a season from him. Now keep it going during the playoffs. But if this season, if the Four Nations is anything to go by, if this season's anything to go by, he will keep it going. I like it. Matthews didn't even have to score 69 goals. He has scored 400 in his career. But this team found ways to win defensively, offensively, goalie, Stolarz and Wolff. What a tandem. The best goalie tandem this team has ever seen, as my fandom has been. There's probably been some better tandems of this team in the 90s, early 2000s, before 2004. But this is the best thing I've ever seen. Yeah, we've had good goalies at times. Our defense has still sucked. But two good goalies with a defense as strong as the Leafs have, Craig Berube has changed this team. I told you about Craig Berube last December when the Blues fired him. I told you this man is a winner. I told you. The Leafs should have done what the Blues did this offseason, or this half season. When Berube got fired, they should have told Sheldon Keefe to hit the damn door, and we wouldn't have punted away half a season. But the second best time to plant a tree is 6 months after you should have, and they did that. And look what the Leafs have done. I told you about Berube. I told y'all. Berube is a winner. He is a fighter. He is a leader of men. Craig Berube is a champion. And that's why I believe in this team, because this is the only reason. Would Marner be the guy he is right now if Craig Berube didn't walk through that damn door? No. Would this team succeed with Matthews having 30 goals less than he did last year if Berube didn't walk through the door? No. Will we have the goalies we have? The defense we have if he didn't walk through that door? No. Craig Berube is the truth. I saw it with the Blues, and I see it here. This is the same thing. But hey, at least he had a full season. If you were worried about him, I don't know why, because the last time he came in halfway through his season with the Blues, he won a Stanley Cup. And the Leafs were way better than the Blues were halfway through his season last year at the midpoint of 23-24. So he would have done it again. But you know what? You know what? This is the year. Craig Berube is a winner. This team is going to go far. I know without a shadow of a doubt, this Leaf team is going far. I've never seen something like this with blue and white. I've seen the Blues do it. I've seen the Blues do it. What's the common denominator? Damn right. Chief. But the Leafs know how to play under him. He's got them running. He's got them working. And the Leafs are Atlantic Division champions. That's step one. Step two, Ottawa, you're next. Battle of Ontario. Like the good old days. Like the early 2000s. Like 2004. And yeah, no, Ottawa's had our number during the regular season, but I seem to remember back when the early 2000s happened, they had our number during the regular season, and we whipped them pillar to post in the offseason. Figure that one out, eh? Then, if we get past that, which we should, I think we will, it's Tampa or Florida. And you know what? I think Florida's falling apart. We know Tampa. We saw Vasi. They still have. And Nice loves playing in Tampa because he hates that building. Florida, if they fall apart, which I think they are, the Leafs have a clear shot to a conference final. And frankly, nobody in the Metro scares me. Or, well, the Habs might, but it is what it is. The Leafs have a clear shot to a conference final, if not a Stanley Cup final. And this team will get their job done. This is the year, point blank, period. If you don't get to the third round, it's not going to happen for a while. You can't let this slip, is my point. The Leafs better not let this slip. This is a different team. I don't think they will let this slip. But there's going to be a little bit of a thought process at the back of your mind pushing forward when it doesn't look so good that they might just do it again. They might just blow it again. Don't listen to that. Whether you're a player, fan, anything, don't listen to the voices in your head coming to the forefront saying, it don't look so good right now. Oh, it doesn't matter. This time they're going to do it. Leafs win. Player of the game, Anthony Stolarz. Shutout. Shutout. A shutout for Anthony Stolarz. He's got it. Player of the game. Man of the match. Marner and Matthews, I guess, are the other 3 stars. 2nd star, 3rd star, because, there you go. With that being said, if you like this video, like and share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you Thursday, 2 p.m., 1:55 Central, 2 p.m. for the live watch along and after the review of Chelsea versus Legia Warsaw. The second leg of the Conference League quarterfinal. Chelsea should be going to the semis, but we still got to do the second leg. So with that being said, I'll see you Thursday. Leafs win, division winners, and we move on to the playoffs. Yeah, we got to play 82, but who cares? I'll still watch, but who cares? Playoff time, baby. And this time it's different. There you go. If you like this video, like and share, subscribe. You know what it is. Hit that like button, put this playlist, share with friends and family, all that great stuff. I'll see you later. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you. Go Leafs, go. Let's go.